We just got back from vacation and I realized we use the same list year after year to get ready to leave. I want to share some tips and some tools with you that will make getting ready for vacation a lot less stressful. My name is Angie. Welcome to my channel, Quiet Confident Woman. My passion is truly building confidence in women, especially introverted women. And I love doing that and taking an area of your life that you feel is a bit chaotic, placing a system or a strategy to it to bring it to a sense of calm. If you love what you hear, make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and if you don't already receive an email from me once a week, you're going to want that. It has lots of actionable steps that you can take immediately in your life to bring your life to a sense of calm, and you can find that link in the notes. I am sure that you have seen somebody's organization or system to do something in your life and you're like, oh, that works really great and that's a really good idea, and you try to implement it and it's very challenging, it's very complicated. Those sometimes work really, really great, but I love to take something that is already working in your life and maybe just tweaking it a little bit to work even better in your life. Let's not recreate something that we've already had some sort of success with. And that is in vacation planning. So most people will create a checklist to go on vacation. And in this checklist, it will have everything that you need, and you'll probably be adding to this checklist the closer that you get. Have you ever taken that checklist and just made a photocopy of it to use for next time you go on vacation? Just that one little tweak will actually serve you really, really well. Now, the key is to keep that checklist that you made a photocopy of someplace safe, but not so safe that you can't find it next year. I know that you know. So, all right, I'm going to give you some different tools that are out there that you can utilize in a checklist type fashion, no matter what personality that you have. So the first one is good old pen and paper. And I love pen and paper. I would have to say it's kind of like a book or Kindle. Which one do you prefer? I still really like a book, but Kindle is so convenient. You can have all of them on your tablet, right? Same with pen and paper. I love a pen and paper style, but I did not love having pen and paper all over the place. So as much as I love it, I use an app in order to have the pen and paper feel, but keep it a little bit more organized. Now, let me tell you, if you are choosing to use pen and paper for your checklist, go ahead and write everything that you think you're going to be needing and then make a photocopy of it, keep it someplace safe. Now, if you add to that checklist after you made a photocopy, which in my case often happens, make sure to add that to the photocopy so it's there for next time. You want to make sure that it's a complete list, because what you may have forgotten that year, you might forget next year as well. And those are the things that you really want on that list. Okay, so back to this app that I use that's like pen and paper. It's called Good Notes. I love it. I love it. I have it on my tablet. It's even on my phone and you can bounce back and forth, but it's very hard to use it on your phone. So I recommend using it on a tablet. But it is essentially an area that you can keep all of your notes in one spot. You can organize them in folders. You can create notebooks. I have a bajillion notebooks. You can create as many notebooks as you want, and they're not piling up on your table in your office. They're just on this app. It is so nice. So if you love the note-taking feel, Good Notes will be your best friend. Plus, you can add pictures. You can change the color of your pen or highlighter. You can draw on it. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. Another one, I haven't used it for note or like checklist type notes, is Notion. I believe this is only a website, but it could be an app For sure, it's a website. And Notion, I haven't used, like I said, for checklists, but I have used it and I still use it to organize my social media posts, to organize these videos. All of that is kept very organized within Notion. I even have a section in Notion that I keep track of all the books that I want to read, and then I'll rate them after I read them and mark that I've read them so I know what I've read and what I haven't read, so I'm not repeating things over and over again. And I can also look back if somebody's like, ooh, what books have you read that's really good? I can't remember that off the top of my head, and I can look back into this and be like, I gave that one a 5-star. Oh yeah, that one was really good. So Notion, Notion, is a really great tool as well. And then Trello I love, and I use this all the time for my meal planning. And Trello I love because you can break it into categories, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in just a moment. So those are some different tools that I've used, either pen and pencil, GoodNotes, Notion, or Trello, to help you be organized in this packing adventure. The next thing that I recommend when you are packing for an extended someplace is to not only make a list of everything that you need, but break it out into sections. Like when we go on vacation, we stay at a home on the water, but we also need things that are outside things, like the sticks for s'mores, and we bring a little grill, and all a pudgy pie maker, all of those different things that for that vacation are particular for that and is outside stuff. We bring fishing poles, fishing gear, all that kind of thing. So that kind of has its own section. Like I think about, okay, outside, what will we be doing and what do we need? Kayaks, the paddles, swimsuits, sunscreen, bug spray. All of that can kind of go in that, and it allows your brain just to think in like almost like tunnel vision thinking. You don't have to be like, oh, what should we bring? Oh, well, we need hamburgers and we need buns for the hamburgers. Oh, we need sunscreen. And oh, you know what? A hat. I always forget a hat. Let's bring a hat. Like your brain's not all over the place then. You can kind of almost tunnel it so you can figure out what you need for a certain section. And the app that's really, really, really great for this is Trello. Trello is great because you can create like vacation, and then within vacation, you can create different boards. And a board allows you to list things out within a category, and you can put pictures in it so you can make it look nice as well, if that's your personality. So you can create a board of outside stuff. And then we have a board that is things that I need to personally bring. So if I need X amount of shorts, or I need to bring, contact stuff, or whatever it is. And then we have a board for my husband and a board for my son. And then we have a board for meals. And this app I use all the time for meal planning. And so what my meal planning one looks like is I have like the general folder of meal planning, and then I have one board that has a list of all my meals and the links to the recipe plus all of the grocery items I need as a checklist. And then I have a week 1 board, a week 2 board, a week 3 board, a week 4 board. And then I'll list all of the meals that we're going to have in those different weeks. So that's how you can split up these boards in Trello to be very, very useful to not only like take away some of the overwhelm when you're thinking about what you need to bring, but just have that tunnel vision. And what's also nice about this is you can click a button to just check mark things off. And one, it gives you the satisfaction of checking it off. But two, it's very easy next year just to unclick everything and start from scratch. Or to add things. If you forget something, you can add it while you're on vacation. Be like, oh, we totally should have brought that. And you can add it in Trello right away while you're on vacation to not forget it when you come back and do this again for next year, whether it's the same vacation or maybe something a little bit different, but you'll be able to add that right away. So breaking things up into categories It can even be done on a piece of paper, maybe a paper for each category, or maybe you just have lines or boxes drawn on your page, whatever works for you, but breaking it into categories is very, very helpful. Now, with every system, think of the way a certain system that you use for one part of your life can be utilized for a different part of your life. So, though this system works extremely well if you're going on vacation, it can also work for things that happen in your life on a regular basis that aren't frequent. Maybe you have a work meeting that's once a month and you need some different things for that meeting than you do a normal workday. Maybe there's certain statistics or certain things that you need to have prepared by the date of this meeting, and you can put those on a list. Maybe you need to bring a laptop or something that you typically wouldn't bring to work, or maybe you're in charge of making sure the room is rented or whatever it is. That can all be put on a checklist. The other thing that you can do is you can utilize it for daily things that are new to you. So our son has started a new job a couple of weeks ago, and there's certain things that he needs to remember. He needs to remember his lunch, which he needs to remember for school too, but I don't know, for some reason it's just different. It's just different. So his lunch, he needs to remember like his badge to punch in and out for work. He needs to remember a belt because he changes clothes once he gets there. And if he doesn't wear a belt to work, he'll need it at work. So he needs to remember that. So there's a lot of different things that he needs to remember. And after a certain amount of time, it'll be like brushing your teeth and he won't need that anymore. But to start with, you might need a little bit of a checklist that you can create very, very simply in any of the tools that I have mentioned. So take the things that you've heard or that have worked in a certain part of your life and just sit back and think, how could this work in a different part of my life? Or could it work in a different part of my life? I don't necessarily have, it's kind of like a checklist, but I have a monthly calendar that lists certain things that I need to do every single week. And it's different every single week of the month. And so it's repeated over and over again all of the time. But sometimes you just get lost in what you're doing and you're like, oh shoot, that's right, that was due this week, and you totally space it. So when it's written on this calendar at the beginning of the week, I can glance at the calendar and see what's written out for that week that I do on a regular basis and just be like, oh, that's right, I'm going to put that on my list of things to do for the week, and it will save your butt so many times. So those are a couple of tips. I hope that you love them. I hope that you're able to take away one or two things to add to your life to make it less stressful. So don't feel you need to throw everything out that you are doing, but know that you can tweak and adjust things as you go when you hear different suggestions and different things that work well for others. And if you're using some kind of a tool or a system, or you do something a little bit different to get ready for vacation, we want to know. So definitely share that in the comments, because we're all here to learn and we're all here to grow. So I thank you for joining me today. I will see you next time.